Hey guys, so today we're going to be drawing a chair from different angles, the front elevation, the side elevation, 1-point and 2-point perspective. So we're going to start with the elevation first. When you start the elevation, you are going to draw the overall size. So you're going to have the top, the overall height, the base. Right now I'm using 1/2-inch scales, so I'm looking at the overall size. So it's 47 inches, so I'm using 1/2-inch scale to draw that, and I'm measuring out the overall width. My second elevation, which I'm doing right next to it, I'm doing the overall depth of the chair because it's the side elevation. So this one, the first one that I'm going to be doing is the front elevation. So the chair here is in this corner. We're going to look at the overall height of the seat. So when you look at a chair, the numbers that you get, you're going to get the overall height, the depth, the width, and sometimes you're lucky and you'll get the height of the seat. Sometimes you'll get the armchair height. So whatever numbers you have, you go ahead and note that. So I've noted the only numbers I have is the seat height. So I have that as 24 inches. But what I'm doing now is kind of drawing the front side of it. So I have the seat height, and then I offset the line for the bottom, and I'm doing the side arms. But then I realized that the chair itself is the widest point is where the top of the wings are. So what I'm going to end up having to do is erase this. So here, when I draw the wings, I realize that, hey, it's not right. So I know that my arms and my legs have to come in. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of extend the arm height and offset the interior. So these lines right here are going to be my new arm lines. So I've erased the old ones. So now I can do the flare that the top of the chair creates. So I have the flare now, the right side, the left side, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish drawing and detailing the bottom. So here's the base of my chair, and then I have the cushion, right? Then I'm drawing the cushion itself and trying to do a little lift of where the cushion will be, throwing a throw pillow on top of it, and then kind of defining the arms. The arms, you can see from the photo, there's a slight kind of curve to it. So I'm doing the front and the arm height curve. And so now I start to define the edges a little bit more so you can kind of see what the chair will look like front view. Because the back is kind of a barrel, the back legs will be not the same line as the front. It'll be a little bit more inside. So I'm going to be drawing that part next, but I'm doing the marker to kind of show you kind of the depth, the dimension that you'll see if you were rendering this. So here I'm drawing the back legs, and then you can see the back legs because it's kind of a barrel, the back of it. It's not a square chair. All right, so the next view is the side view. So I'm taking the same dimension. You can see that I have drawn the extension lines for the overall size, and I know the back isn't all the way to the edge of the box. It comes in. There's an ergonomic slant to that. Right now I'm drawing the profile of this chair, so I know it kind of comes out in a curve, and the topmost part of the wing, it slopes down. You can see from the picture. And I have the offset lines where the nail heads will occur, and now I'm going to defining the cushion, how it comes out in the front. So that's how you're going to do the profile. You're going to look at the chair itself and kind of look at what kind of angles it has and try to mimic that in your elevation. So as you can see, the outermost part is the very back towards the top. So next thing, we're going to work on the 1-point view and the 2-point view of the same chair. So I started off with the same size box. You know, one is in a 1-point view, one is in a 2-point view. But what you want to know is that the box, just like in the elevation, there's a slant to it. The back is not completely straight. It's not going to go to the back of the box. So you have to kind of mimic that when you start to draw the chair. So the first thing I do is draw the kind of the profile, just as if I were doing an elevation towards the front of this box. Okay, so I have the kind of elevation view of that, and now I start to kind of curve the legs, and I do the back side, and I mimic the back side of this chair, and again mimic the offset lines. So these are all really sketchy lines, and starts to look more three-dimensional. Alright, so here I'm drawing the back, kind of the footprint of that chair, and so you can see where the legs would be, so that I can adjust for that. So now that I like the form, I will go ahead and hardline the legs and the chair lines to give an offset for the front of the arm, offset for the arms, how they curve up, give dimension to the seat cushion, and then I'll go ahead and hardline the lines that I actually like. Now, if you have a French curve, you can use the French curve if you're not comfortable drawing a freehand curve. But that's about how I approach drawing a chair in 1-point perspective based off the photo. Now, I added a throw pillow there just to kind of give it some interest. Now I'm going to do some grayscale to kind of show you the depth that you're going to be seeing. And so I'm going to do some stippling for where the nail heads occur, so it looks like nail heads. And that's it. That's your 1-point chair turned in perspective. So this is an important skill to have, so that when you're sketching, sometimes your sketch and your reference photo is not going to match because maybe you have it turned in space that's different than your reference photo. So you have to kind of look at the image and visualize it and see how the box will look. All right, here's the 2-point perspective. I have the same height, and now I'm kind of offsetting, like, okay, the middle of that is 24. It's then that would be a little lower for the seat is 17. So I'm doing the offset lines, and now I'm kind of filling in. Here's the back of it. So that's where kind of the back of my chair will occur. The flare of this, the arms. So I'm using the box as a guide. It's similar to, you know, trying to draw this in elevation, but now I'm using the box as my guide. So it's important when you're doing perspective that you're getting the right size for the box, and that's why you always want to have a reference image when you're drawing in perspective. You can't make up a size, because if you want to make it look like the reference image, you have to make sure you know the size of this reference image. So I'm detailing out the legs now, and giving it some depth. Then I'm doing the seat cushion. I'm offsetting those lines. And remember, our back is more of a barrel, so when we do the seat, it's not going to be the square that we have originally. We're going to go ahead and make it curved so it fits the curve of the base. So if you can see that, it's the curve of the base that now it's as if your chair base has gone up to this cushion level. So it's a curved back instead of a square back. So now I'm detailing the cushions a little bit more, adding the throw pillow, hard lining the lines that I want to keep. And so these construction lines I can ultimately erase, but at least they help guide what the chair is going to be like. So you're working within the constraints of the box. So you're not making all the lines go to the edge of the box, but you're working within the constraints of the box. All right, now I'm going to add some gray markers to show the depth of it. Some visual interest there for this quick sketch. All right, so there you have it. You have 1 point, 2 point, and an elevation. I do add some shadows underneath so it doesn't look like it's floating in space. Hope it helps you figure out your forms. All right, thanks so very much. I'll see you next time.